FX Morning Mayhem podcast is an essential listen for currency traders. Each episode covers a curated watch list of key currency pairs alongside insightful market observations. It highlights crucial daily news events that could influence the market, ensuring traders are well informed. Additionally, the podcast offers valuable trading strategy tips, catering to both new and experienced traders in the Forex market. This podcast is for educational purposes only. None of this info should be construed as investment advice. To see the trades called out live for free on our Slack channel, click the link in the description or scan the QR code to join the trade faction. If you find this podcast valuable, please follow and share with a friend. And now, on with the show.
All right, let's start with the markets here. This is the Euro Canadian dollar. We just had news, didn't really make much of a difference. This is extremely overbought. The amplitude's over 100. The trend is up. The wave phase is looking for longs, but there's really nothing to do here. We had a short sweet spot here, but that's a while ago. This popped up on news and now it's back to where it was at. I suppose if you wanted to take a risky trade, you could short this down to about here. That would be my only recommendation or idea for that particular instrument. Pound CAD, almost the identical situation, except we're really overbought here. We haven't had, and we're hyperextended. We haven't had a short sweet spot since here, but it blew right through that. There was another one right here. I suppose you could almost do the same thing, but I don't know if it's worth that little tiny gain if you can even get it. So, yeah, my idea on that. New Zealand, US dollar. This was one of the ones from last night that I took and did okay on. My logic was, I think I got in around here, and my logic was price dropped, then it came back up to this sweet spot. So I took a risk. I thought I was going to be wrong when it did that, but then I would just went, it was here when I went to bed last night. I woke up, it hit my profit target, so that was nice. Right now, this is in a short downtrend, short wave phase, slightly oversold. We're getting a lot of sweet spot longs here at the bottom, so I think this is the bottom for now. So I'm expecting this to bounce back up here. So I guess it's fairly risky, not that risky trade would be to go long here and counter trend trade that. There's no actual good setups right now, so I'm just giving you all kinds of counter trade setups. Okay, so that's one that you are in, right?
Yeah, still in it. Made some. So I had a boo-boo on it, but I'm like about ready just to bail on it.
Here are my thoughts, and you can take them or leave them. You are resting on an algo trigger right now, okay? A lot of times when price does this behavior where it blows through and then finds a top and drops down, that could be the end of the trend. The amplitude here is very low. So what I think might happen is it may make it all the way down to here-ish. So you might be able to squeeze a few more pips out of it. If you're lucky, it'll drop into this area somewhere. Remember tomorrow's the interest rate, the US interest rate ruling. That's a big gamble. It could either go to the moon or it could just drop like a rock based on that news.
Yeah, wow.
I'll tell you what I would do if I was you. I would just stick in it for a little while longer, see if it drops down to here, and if it drops down to here, I'd get out.
Yeah, okay. That's basically, you're about right where I'm looking at it.
Okay,
and just saying that's a good out.
Maybe we'll get lucky in a sweet spot, a short sweet spot of form here, which will further validate that strategy. But
yeah, because I'm not trading on Fed day. Yep. I did that. That's why I was in this position in the first place.
Yeah. My strategy when I got out of this was I was like scalping every time it went down.
Oh yeah, no, I did. I got my entire thing was there, but
Okay. All
so
right.
it's just
So
it's not like
you
a
did
total
follow that
loss.
strategy. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
but I'm like,
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta mitigate the losses as much as you can. And that's what I gave up thinking I was going to make money on the trade. So my goal just became, can I try to get as close to even as I can?
yeah,
And I was successful with that. Mostly
yeah.
because the first time I did it was here, but I
Hmm.
only did it on a small lot. The second time I did a huge lot.
Hmm.
So I made up a ton on this little move down here and then was basically a break even and said, okay, I'm out.
Yeah,
So,
I just made normal trades. I got the three normal trades in like for 10 pips a piece.
oh,
I
yeah.
just
So
needed to drop probably to that first algo trigger to
yeah, it
be about there.
went from a fatal wound to a flesh scrape.
Yeah,
It still hurts.
yeah.
I know the feeling. All right, here we go. This one finally formed something here. This is very hyperextended. That's why that's yellow. And then we're up over 100, but we do have a new sweet spot here to the
Hmm.
downside. So if you wanted to take a counter trend trade here, from here to about here, that's not a bad little trade. I may take that trade myself to see what happens on that. So yeah, right now trend is to the upside. We're setting up for longs, but like I said, very overextended, hyperextended. Usually it's got to regress back to the mean a little bit, and the closest algo triggers are right here. So that would be your profit target. Last but not least, US dollar Swissy Frank. This one is actually in the zone, setting up for longs, uptrend, long wave phase. The last sweet spot was over here. I really
Hmm.
like that I tuned this up because there's way less sweet spots and they're like right almost all the time. I'm guessing a sweet spot will form. There's a little one right here.
Yeah, I
I'm
meant to ask
guessing
him
a
that.
sweet spot will form here if price can get to this point. This would be where I would take it long. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah, real quick for those playing at home, the size of that dot, have we gone over that? Is there a rhyme
Oh,
or reason to
no,
the
no,
dot?
I have not. It's directly proportional to the bigger means stronger, littler means weaker. How's that?
Okay. All right. So the
Okay.
bigger it is,
I was about to go into the weeds on the math.
okay.
And then I was like, no, don't do that. Yeah, bigger, stronger, smaller, weaker. I don't know if that matters yet. Because if you look, that was just something that I did when I was doing the calculations. Because if you look, just as many of them, regardless of size, work as
Hmm.
opposed to who cares? Kind of here's a big down one, but it didn't work. And then here's a little tiny up one, and that worked great. I don't know that it matters, but I noticed a big difference in the calculations. So, oh, I'll make big dots, I'll make small dots. So right now, that was my thinking: bigger, stronger, smaller, weaker.
Gotcha.
But we'll see how it goes as time goes on. Maybe I'll make them all the same size because if they don't appear to make a difference.
Okay.
Okay.
Good news on that one. Oh yeah.
All
Pro
right.
tip.
What's that?
Dave's pro tip. Dave's pro tip of the day. When going and having kids that love looking at your charts, make sure when you make a trade that you're actually in the pair that you want to be in. Just because. So yeah, I made an errant chief trade because the U.S. chief and the basically Singapore dollar chief that I was in, I was trying to do that waterfall or grid to nip away at the loss there. And I'm like, oh my God, I hit the spot. And I just clicked the button and went, that's the wrong pair. Because I literally
Whoops.
just went, I got out, my wife needed something, and I came back. I passed my kid in the way, and it's not, hey, Dad, I looked at this pair. I wanted to see it.
Yeah. I can't tell you how
It's
many
like,
times I've done that.
I can't. Just
It's
don't be stupid, you moron.
oh, you really can't avoid all those pilot error things. You try to learn from those things as much as you can, but they are aggravating. They are
Mm,
aggravating as hell to do. I try to explain that to new people.
yeah.
Even when I was talking to Will, he's like, wow, what can I
Mhm.
expect to make from it? I was like, I can't tell you anything. It depends on so much stuff. It depends on how good you end up being, how much money you're willing to risk to do it. I said, if you put $100 in there, you're going to make pennies. If you put $1 million in there, you'll probably make thousands.
Yeah.
And you might put $1 million in there and you suck, so you won't make any. So I have such unrealistic expectations. Everybody wants, I want to make $1 million right away. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
You need to put time in the chair.
You gotta put time in the chair, man. It's just like flying planes, like getting flight hours. There's that. All right. Market insight.
There you go.
So, what do I want to call this? Phony baloney jobs. That's what I'm going to call it.
Okay.
All right. So, I'm reading an article from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Biden's Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they have just revised the April 2023 to March 2024 job numbers. So what that means is that all the previous reports for the last 4 quarters where the leaving administration was saying that they beat the job numbers and how great the economy was and all that stuff. Oopsie, that was all bullshit. Because back in March said that the payroll numbers are overstated by at least $800,000. So they were trying to blow the whistle on them back then, but got quickly shut down. I don't know. This kind of stuff pisses me off. Because,
how do you not, I mean.
oh, they know. They knew. It's just they lie. It's as simple as that. You can't, there's no way to be able to say, oh, they screwed up, they calculated the number wrong. Because this other organization, this other federal organization, the Philly Fed, added up the same set of numbers and said, you guys are fucking blowing sunshine up our ass by 800K.
Man, it's just, that makes me mad too. Really.
Well, this is where this directly affects me because I'm graduating a capstone class this semester and all of them are struggling to find jobs. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
What's the problem? I can't figure out why kids can't find jobs. And now I know because this is bullshit.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I guess I'm going to take a positive attitude. Hopefully going forward, this will no longer be a bunch of crap and the new administration will at least, if they're 20% more honest, it's going to be a huge improvement.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to be 100% honest, to tell you the truth. I'm a realist. I think they're going to massage numbers too, just to look good, because it is politics. I always remember that scene from Nightmare Before Christmas where the mayor has the head. You know what I'm talking about? The head that flips around.
Yeah.
Two-faced. That's what I always think of when I see politicians, is that character from that movie. I think that's all I got.